Hello!
Ta-da!
Welcome back to our third and final Villain's Lair live stream donate-a-thon. We are
Villain's Lair.
So by now you guys have seen episode 1, or I hope you've seen episode 1. So there's a lot going on this season. So part of the reason that we're doing this donate-a-thon is to raise funds to create the rest of season 1. Season 2. This season, as if you didn't see season 1, if you didn't see episode 1 of season 2, God, all these season things. If you didn't see episode 1 of season 2, the villains have a journey ahead of them. So some of this season will take place on location and in different locations. So that's part of the reason that we are asking for your help, is that it's going to be just a more robust season. So that's part of the reason that we're doing this. So thank you ahead of time for being here. We appreciate you taking time out of your day to be with us. We are joined by our distinguished guests.
We don't have them yet.
Oh.
I'm working on it.
We're working on it. Okay.
Sorry.
We will have our nefarious friends here in a little bit.
Oh, here they are.
Oh, look at that. Live from the Villain's Lair. There they are. Hello to all of you. Thank you for being here. Maleficent, the mistress of all evil. Thank you so much for being here.
The pleasure is yours, I'm sure. It's not often I receive an invitation.
Yeah, I think we've all learned our lesson of what happens when you don't get an invitation. So
I wonder if we'll ever hear the end of that one.
yeah, thank you for being here. Mother Gothel, the mother of the year. Thank you so much for being here. You're looking radiant.
Why, thank you. I wouldn't miss it.
No. And of course, everyone's favorite doctor. The doctor is in. Dr. Facilier. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us.
Of course. Enchanté, my friends. How we doing?
We're wonderful. I'm so thrilled to have you. We missed you in episode 1, but I know you're off doing the things that you do. We're excited to have you in the rest of the season. For those of you that are just joining, welcome. We're doing this live stream donate-a-thon to raise funds to create the rest of season 2. So thanks for being here.
I'm actually curious, how many people got a chance to see episode 1? And what are you guys' thoughts? We'd love to know. Obviously, you left comments, and we love that feedback. But if you guys want to tell us in these chats what you guys thought, or what you expected and what you saw, we'd love to know about that. If you guys don't know, Tony and I are the creators here at PattyCake Productions. We make everything. We write the songs, we create the music, we create the costumes,
The sets, everything.
We write everything. So we just, this is a really good way for us to kind of let you know how to donate so we can do more episodes of the Villain's Lair. Patreon.com is the best way for you to support us.
To get something in return for your support. Too.
Yes, and there are other ways to help us out, but Patreon is the best way for you because you get so many perks and so many little gifts. And we'll talk about that here in a minute. But I just wanted to let you know who we were and kind of where we're headed with this.
So cool. I think you want to start with some questions? We have a ton of them here.
Oh my gosh, let's do something.
Okay. Maleficent. I was... Excuse me.
Here, drink your coffee.
Drink my coffee. I know, it's still early for us. Maleficent. I was wondering if you had a suggestion for somebody who suffers with insomnia.
Trouble sleeping? How quaint. I have just the solution for such an affliction.
I'm sure you do. Okay, so to answer your question, yes. I don't have who asked that, but yes, Maleficent most certainly has a remedy for insomnia. I would maybe clear your schedule, though. I don't know how long you'll be asleep for.
Maleficent is my favorite. Hello, Maleficent is my favorite.
Maleficent, lots of love for the mistress of all evil.
I saw episode 1. It was deliciously evil. Mother Gothel is my favorite villain. Also Maleficent and Dr. Facilier, because they're the most devious villains. They are pretty devious.
I would say they're all devious in their own way. Mother Gothel, kidnapping a baby. That's pretty devious. They all sort of have the, I know, misunderstanding, but many could view that as devious. But I certainly would never fault you for that. I completely understand why you did what you did.
Do you want to ask a Patreon question?
I do, from Mary Lamea from Patreon. Good morning, Dr. Facilier. A question for you. Who makes your wonderful hat? Because I love it and I want it.
Oh, thank you kindly. I've had this little thing for a while now.
Oh.
The fella it belonged to before, well, he didn't need it anymore.
Oh boy. Oh. Okay. So it was acquired, we'll say.
Indeed.
It is a very, very becoming hat. It's very suiting of a man of your stature and dignity. So, okay. Let's just see. Oh my goodness, this is from Jonah. Jonah, excuse me. I'm so sorry. These are a lot of questions, but here we go. Gothel, why did you betray the villains? I love your personality. Kind of creepy that you kidnapped a child. You could have asked. Gothel, what say you to betraying the other villains?
Betray? Darling, don't be so dramatic. How could I possibly have known that this sea witch was who she was and that she had all those tricks up her tentacles? After all, she didn't look like the sea witch. I thought she just might be a sorceress from another kingdom. Once I realized who she was, I was horrified.
Sure, so it sounds like perhaps you were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Would that be correct?
It could have happened to anyone.
Sure, yeah. So okay, so perhaps maybe you're the victim in this, that people are calling you a traitor when you've done absolutely nothing wrong. So
yes, one might say with friends like these, who needs enemies?
Sure, I would agree. Dr. Facilier. Oh, this is a great question. Dr. Facilier, why did you reveal Ursula to Gothel, Cruella, Gaston, and Yzma?
Well, in order to get her past the Queen's spell of protection, I needed an unbroken circle of betrayers. Now, I didn't tell them that, but that little old detail didn't matter none. All I needed was that circle.
Oh, so it was just circumstantial that you just needed a circle of betrayers. It didn't really matter who did, and that's how you were able. I didn't know that. That's good information. Okay, so that's why he chose that group of people, is because he needed a circle of betrayers to get past, to counteract the Queen's spell of protection that protected the castle from Ursula. Good to know.
Yeah.
You learned it here first.
So this is probably a good time to start telling you what exactly is Patreon and what do you get? Well, good question, Layne. If you sign up on our Patreon, if you become even the very first member, there are different tiers that you can sign up, and on each tier, the higher you go, the more rewards you get. So on the very first tier, the first thing that you get is access to our videos before they become public. So our next video, which is actually going to go to Patreon next week.
Something just in time for Halloween.
Yeah, you will get access to it a week before anybody else does. Or maybe even longer, who knows. Another tier, as the tiers go
Mary
go up,
Lamea, oh my gosh.
Mary,
Thank you. Thank you all for your super chats. My God, this is we're just sort of getting them all at once. So thank you.
Now, we always like to put on special gifts for you guys, especially like the higher tier you go, the cooler stuff you get. And let me show you one of the things that we just started doing here.
Sure. So we've done this in past live chats, but we're gonna explain it again. So in the 90s, Disney did these really cool trading cards featuring the Disney villains, and they're super collectible now. So we thought a really cool thing to do would be to recreate them with our cast. So this would be the first one that you will get. I'm so bad at this.
I know.
So this is the Evil Queen. They are numbered on the back, so this will be the first. Oh my goodness.
They get the gist.
You get the gist. So that is the Evil Queen. This is another one on this series too, that we have recreated. Gaston.
We don't want to show you them all, but we do have 12 of them, and if you're a patron, you will get basically one a month for the next year.
So that's just another perk that we added. Another thing that we're doing is sign mini posters for each of the episodes that we put out on our channel. Now that goes beyond the Villain's Lair as well. We're going to be sending you signed mini posters, so you can maybe keep them in a scrapbook or put them in a book, and so you can kind of have them all together.
Create a giant wall mural. You can do whatever you want.
That was super cool.
You're like, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I might do that.
I have the perfect wall.
But anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting all these super chats. Thank you. We couldn't do this without you guys. I know we say that a lot, but it's really the truth. So
I want to tell them one more little perk, which I really love, is that we do a monthly chat on Zoom. It's now on Zoom.
So we get to see you.
We get to see you, and we get to hang out, and you can ask us questions. Sort of like now, but like we get to see your face, and we can hang out, do a little trivia, and just chill.
Yeah.
Which is always a good time.
Okay, so let's get back to some questions. Okay. I think this is probably... Okay, so this will tread into spoiler territory for episode 1. So if you haven't seen it and you want to know...
Close your ears.
Close your ears. I'll do this when it's safe to come back. Okay. So, spoiler for episode 1. Here we go. Maleficent, do you fear the cauldron, Hades, or dare I say the name? I dare, the Horned King. Do you fear the cauldron?
Fear a cauldron? How quaint. An ancient forgotten relic with a foolish king as its prisoner is no match for the mistress of all evil. As to the lord of the underworld, I fear him not, for I know where his allegiances lie. The shadow man may have his parlor tricks, but he is no match for a god. Pity.
Whoa. Okay, let's keep it. I don't want to get you guys riled up and angry, so let's keep it. Let's keep it civil. Yeah, Mother Gothel, I don't think she's feeling the heat between. Things are heating up. So no is to answer that question. I don't think Maleficent fears much. The mistress of all evil fears very little. From Mary LeMaya, a question for Mother Gothel. What is the best way to being young or beautiful? Oh, so I think she wants to know, what are your secrets for being young and beautiful? And in what age is one considered old?
Oh, my dear, sweet, lovable peasant. Beauty is power. When a woman stays young and beautiful, the world falls at her feet. Her age is meaningless if she remains beautiful.
I would definitely agree with that. That beauty in and of itself is a power. But I remember having a conversation with you about some of your beauty regimens. Would you be willing to share some of your beauty secrets?
Why, of course. I always start the day with an ice bath of rose-petaled water. And then, of course, you'll want to drink plenty of water yourselves.
Yeah.
Preferably from your own waterfall.
Oh,
yes, and then, of course, sleeping is so important.
Sure, beauty sleep.
Although it is difficult sometimes with an ungrateful teenager.
Sure. So, yeah, getting your beauty rest, I would imagine, must have been difficult with a teenager like Rapunzel, who was always
You know, she woke up at 5 in the morning.
Sure, yeah. Lots of painting and baking and things like that. I can't imagine that was particularly pleasant, which brings me to another question. Do you have any favorite memories from Rapunzel was little?
Well, of course. When she was little, yes.
Sure.
Before she developed an obstinate, willful mind of her own. Yes, when all she wanted was mother. That was bliss. A child to adore you unconditionally, never ask questions, never question your judgment. Now those are lovely memories.
Sure. Yeah. Some of the memories that, for those of you that are just joining, somebody asked if Mother Gothel has any particularly fond memories of Rapunzel, and she was saying that when Rapunzel was little and before she became willful and obstinate and difficult, that she enjoyed those memories.
Like most teenagers.
Like most teenagers, yeah. I would imagine. I take my hat off to you ladies that have raised all these teenagers with all of these strange habits, like talking to chameleons and birds, and I would imagine that's difficult for a mother to watch. Okay, to Maleficent, how did you require your raven, Diablo? And would you say that he alone is far more useful than the other villains combined?
Ah, my pet, my last hope, my oldest friend. He possesses all the traits desirable in a companion: devotion, obedience, and most of all, loyalty.
Ooh.
You haven't seen him, have you?
No, I've not seen him today, no.
No matter. I'm quite sure he's seen you.
I'm sure he has. I know he has
Oh, good question, Leslie.
a fondness for circling far and wide. Yeah, and that was a question from Leslie, thank you.
On Patreon.
On Patreon, yes. These are questions from our Patreon. So many of them to get through. They're really awesome questions too.
These are really, like, out of all of the live chats that we've done, I think these are some of the most
questions that I want to know
like,
the answer to.
Yeah, these are some intense questions. Good questions.
I know it's very generous. I'll say it again. Thank you to my nefarious friends for being here and indulging us. I know it's not often that you grant audiences where people can ask you, mere mortals can ask you questions. So thank you all for being here.
I saw somebody ask in the live chat, why did Ursula get banished? And I think that's a really great question. We can't answer that.
Dr. Facilier knows why Ursula was banished, but
yeah,
I think he'll probably explain that to you in a couple episodes from now.
I think so.
I think he's probably going to remain tight-lipped about that. Wouldn't you say, Doctor?
Indeed.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got lots of secrets up those sleeves, as any proper shadow man would. He's got. I believe you said, never show all your cards, you lose the game. Yeah, look at him laughing. Yeah.
You're making him happy.
Yeah. That's my job. I like keeping Dr. Facilier and all the villains happy. From Muse Queen 101, for Gothel, Maleficent, and Dr. Facilier, which of the villains in the Lair do you find the most annoying? Let's start with Mother Gothel. Who do you find the most annoying?
That's easy. The Queen of Hearts. All that yelling and screaming and talking. It's like blah, 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 blah. It's very annoying.
Yes, I know she definitely tends to get off on tangents and throws tantrums, and I would imagine that's difficult for a woman of your stature to endure. Yeah, sure. Dr. Facilier, any of the other villains in the Villain's Lair that you find annoying?
The man who calls himself a judge, Rolo or Frollo, whatever it is. He's disrespected me for the last time.
I mean, the two of you have had some pretty heated moments, and I would absolutely agree with you that he's not been particularly respectful of a man of your skill. So it doesn't surprise me that you wouldn't be buddies. Maleficent, any of the other villains that you find annoying?
Others? Now why would it give a thought to creatures so base, so inconsequential?
So
wow.
The short answer is no. She doesn't even give a thought to the other villains. She is, after all, the mistress of all evil, so I would imagine her plate stays pretty full. For those of you that are just joining us, I'm sorry
for
if
the super chat.
Thank you. These
guys
super
so
chats are
much.
so amazing. Thank you. We really couldn't make these episodes without your generosity. So thank you. For those of you that don't know why we're doing this, perhaps the people that are just joining us, we're doing this live stream donate-a-thon to create funds so we can create the rest of season 2. For those of you that have watched episode 1, season 2 will some of the episodes will be shot on location. We're taking them outside of the Lair, so it's going to be a lot more robust of a season. So that's part of the reason that we're sort of reaching out and saying, hey, any way you could help us out to help us create the content that you love, we sincerely appreciate. So for those of you that have super chatted and those of you that want to join Patreon, where you can get things in return, that we appreciate all of you. We love getting to chat with you. On our Patreon chats, we get to Zoom chat with you guys, so we get to talk face to face, where you can ask us questions, like in a very small group. So it's really a wonderful thing for a creator to create something that everybody feels so passionate about. We are fans of this too, so it's wonderful to see other fans love something the way you love it. So thank you all for being here.
Definitely. Yeah, and thank you to all the patrons who have signed up. So far, we've had a good amount of patrons sign up over the past couple of weeks. So thank you guys so much. And please consider just looking around on Patreon to see what the perks are, to see if you can, if you'd like one of those.
Thank you so much for all the super chats too. This is really very, very generous of you. So thank you. Okay, let's get back to some questions. Okay. Questions for each of the villains from Noah. Maleficent. How does one transform into a dragon?
The complexities of transfiguration cannot be explained to a mere mortal.
Okay. I mean, she's not wrong. Noah, Maleficent is basically saying that she's...
You can't.
It would go up. It would go over your head. Dr. Facilier, how did you meet your friends on the other side?
Well, let's just say they found me.
Oh, okay. So yeah, his
cool.
He didn't seek out his friends. They found him. That's kind of neat.
Isn't that how friends work?
I guess, yeah. You kind of find each other.
Yeah.
Like minds find each other. Mother Gothel, do you have any This is from Noah. I just want to make sure. Yeah, this is still from Noah, from our patron Noah. Why? Do you have any favorite memories from when Rapunzel was little?
Well, we spent many hours with my teaching her how to paint my nails and my toes. Those were very lovely times. Little did I know, I was creating a graffiti artist of all time. Yes.
She was particularly fond of painting any surface she could get your hand. Did you keep the? I know since Rapunzel has moved on, did you keep her art on the walls?
I'm definitely looking for a proper painter to go over the entire estate.
Sure. Enough of the finger painting.
Yes. Probably going white would work best.
Oh, nice and clean. A nice, clean, fresh, youthful canvas. I
think slate.
A blank slate. Yeah. That's great.
We could all use that.
Sure, I mean, for sure, we absolutely could. Present company included.
Thank you, Paul Jackson, for the super chat.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Paul Jackson says they love Maleficent, the mistress of all evil. Lots of fans of your work. This is from Leslie. Maleficent, how did you acquire your raven, Diablo? And would you say that he is more useful than any of the other villains?
My pet. My last hope, my oldest friend. He possesses all the traits desirable in a companion. Devotion, obedience, and most of all, loyalty. You haven't seen him, have you?
I have not seen him. That doesn't mean he's not... I have not seen him today, no.
No matter. I'm quite sure he's seen you.
I am sure. I know he circles far and wide.
Well, thank you so much, Lady Cordelia and PJ, the Okie. PJ.
PJ. So for those of you that don't know, Robin Hood is Layne's favorite Disney movie.
The cartoon one.
The cartoon Robin Hood, yes, and he loves Prince John.
Oh,
PJ. Okay. My goodness, these are to Maleficent. Since you are the mistress of all evil, naturally your skills in magic are otherworldly. I'm interested to know, though, is there anything you can't do or something that you find a challenge?
Something beyond my powers? How
Yes.
inconceivable. However, the complexities of other worlds and realms are sometimes too much for even me to contain.
Oh.
But as they say, where there is a will, there is a way. I have great plans for this world and all the others. But you must be patient.
Oh my goodness, there's so much to unpack there.
Bravo.
Great plans for. So it sounds like she has a desire to conquer worlds that
Be
are
the-
worlds and realms that are beyond hers. There's something cooking there.
Thank you,
goodness.
Chaotic Mind. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
We got people saying Aurora, Rapunzel, and Tiana. Those are fighting words for present company. Hi, fellas. Hello. To Tony and Layne, where do you get these amazing ideas for your videos and songs? Do they come naturally, or do you guys go through some sort of process?
Oh, that's a great question. And the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Some of them kind of come to us, and then we I think it starts out as like a very basic idea. Like,
Mhm.
hey, I have this idea. What if this happened? And then the idea kind of slowly gets fleshed out.
Yeah.
And honestly, the further down the project we get, like if it's an original song that we're writing, after we write the song, we have a whole new slew of ideas of what's going to happen.
So true.
Before the song, it's kind of like a general, like, I think I want this to happen, and then the song gets written, and it's like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
this is going to happen. And Tony has so many ideas, it's ridiculous.
I love the stuff the way I feel like all of you love it too. So getting to write for characters that I love is wonderful. Like, you know.
And also through the years, we've also discovered that seeing comments everyone's got great ideas,
Mhm.
especially on the comments, and we don't necessarily take them literally, but we will talk about them, and
sure.
it will inspire other
Mhm.
ideas. So thank you guys so much for being involved with the process.
We love reading the comments,
Um,
just so you know. We love doing it.
It's like, there was one comment, I forgot what it said, but it definitely got us thinking, like, well, what if this happened and then we did this? So,
And a
it's-
couple times people have figured out the plot before we've even said anything. Like, we will have written it, and people have this is what I think is going to happen. And I go, how do they know that? Like,
yeah, like mines.
yeah, no, it's great. And when I see those comments, Layne and I we go like, how did they figure that out? Like, but it's great. We love doing it. So, okay. This one is from Red. Maleficent. How does it feel to know that you are the most girl boss of every Disney character of all time? Maleficent, how does it feel to be the best?
Why, appropriate, of course.
Feels appropriate, sure.
Okay.
I had a feeling she was going to say something like that.
And another question from Red. Layne Tony, will you adopt me? Yes. Red is one of our patrons, and
We adore them.
Absolutely.
We actually brought them onto one of our chats, and we got to see their cat, and it was right.
Yep.
Yeah, it was.
What
like,
was the cat's name?
Oh God, I don't remember. It
I
was
forgot
the
your
cutest
cat's
cat, and they were so cool to show us the cat. Okay, so this one is from Matthew, Dr. Facilier. With all of your amazing style and flair, would you do the Oogie Boogie song with Oogie Boogie?
The boogeyman and I have had dealings in the past. He comes from the other side, you know.
Oh,
We love a good game of chance, rolling the dice, and seeing what happens. I do hope I get to see him again.
wow. Oh, Oogie Boogie comes from the other side.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
That makes sense.
For sure. And you guys do have a lot of kind of similarities. You both have an affinity for cards and rolling the dice and chants. And yeah, it doesn't surprise me that you guys would be friends with each other. Cool. Mother Gothel, here's a question for you. Gothel and the Evil Queen... Gothel, the evil queen has tough competition with your beauty and cunning still around. Are you going to give any makeup tips to the other villains?
Why, of course. The captain and I have already had conversations about staying out of the sun and away from salt water. It is terrible for your skin.
Yeah.
And the darling Miss DeVille and Her Majesty the Queen, they often discuss rare and exotic beauty treatments. As you can see, they're certainly working.
Absolutely. You look as youthful and radiant, as glowing as ever. It's just, it's so much to take in, your beauty.
Don't. Stop.
I see the Mistress of Evil has rejoined us.
Welcome
Maleficent,
back.
If you would be so kind. This is from... Oh, I don't think we have who this is from. Okay. Oh, powerful mistress of all evil. You are the first Disney villain icon and have always been my most favorite. To the question. How do you become the mistress of all evil? And why aren't the rest just bowing down to your will?
One does not become the mistress of all evil. One simply is. Such skill cannot be taught, but rather exploited. As to your inquiry about the others, their opinions of me matter not. For only demonstration of one's power do others learn their place, as small and insignificant as it may be.
Oh my god. Maleficent is in a mood today. Well, I mean, that is a... So being the mistress of all evil can't be taught. You either are or you aren't.
Either you got it,
or you don't.
Or you don't.
And
you born with it,
or you're not. There's Maleficent, and then there's everybody else. Okay, to Tony and Layne, have you heard of another great villain series called The Villain Pub, created by How It Should Have Ended? No.
That's cool.
That's
Where
cool.
do I watch it?
I'm assuming YouTube.
Is it on YouTube or?
Do any of you know? The Villain's Pub? Created by How It Should Have Ended. Sounds awesome.
We'll check it out.
Yeah. This one is from Damien. Dr. Facilier. How did you come to... I'm sorry. I'm just trying to read.
Perhaps you'd like to come back to that one?
Yeah, perhaps.
He's talking to some friends on the other side, I think.
Oh. My goodness.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, I'm back, my friends.
Oh.
So you are?
Dr. Facilier, thank you. How did you become indebted to your friends on the other side?
Be careful of the questions you ask, my friend. You might get an answer you don't like. Debts always have to be paid, and mine has.
Oh, you've settled your debt with your friends from the other side. Well, that means you must be in wonderful standing with them.
Oh, indeed.
Oh, indeed. Yeah, I would have. That's
Wow.
good to know. We're like learning all kinds of stuff tonight.
Thank you, Tiffany, for your super chat. Appreciate it.
Amazing. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Among the three villains, who is the oldest? Who is the smartest? And who is the most evil? This is for us. Oh my gosh, I don't know that I can answer this question. Who is the oldest? I don't know. Hades?
Hades?
Like I would say is probably the oldest.
Yeah.
Who is the smartest? Ooh.
I'd say one of the top two ladies.
I don't know. I'm gonna go with Dr. Facilier. I mean, he had them all fooled for 8 episodes. I can't imagine that was an easy... Because these are people that know their way around a trick, and he had them all tricked for a while. So I'm gonna go, maybe not, but the most cunning, I would say, is probably Dr. Facilier. In my And who is the most evil? Well, that's a very easy question. The mistress of all evil is the most evil. This is from Caleb. Oh, I don't know that she's going to like this question, but I'm going to ask her anyway. Mother Gothel, they want to know how old you are.
A lady never reveals her age.
Absolutely. You don't look a day over 25.
Oh, thank you.
Radiant and beautiful as always.
Oh, you big lug. You're going to make me blush.
Well, I certainly wouldn't want to do that. Okay. Oh, another question from Mother Gothel from Aaron. Sorry, I do want to ask, which of the three panelists is the favorite song to perform? I can't get enough of Bad Never Looks So Good, but when comes around is pretty specky too. Mother Gothel, do you have a favorite song?
Well, I'm not sure if you know this, my dear, but I am the fan favorite. They can't get enough of me. And who could blame them? Tough Love might be my personal favorite.
Sure.
Yes, it's not often that your friends can relate to terrible situations. But those great ladies, they know exactly how horrible an experience it was raising such an ungrateful child.
Sure, I would say that the three of you have the most common ground, I would say, is raising the difficulties, I'll say, raising these delusional and disobedient children. I would imagine that the three of you were
ungrateful,
hateful,
just vile.
It must have been difficult to endure. So I would imagine that the three of you are in great company.
Of course.
So we should take a couple seconds and just swing back around and talk about, for those of you that are just joining us, and for those of you that have been with us the whole time, I apologize that we have to keep kind of reiterating this, but I want to make sure that the people that are just joining us know sort of what this is. So this is a live stream donate-a-thon that we are doing to help raise funds to create the rest of Season 2. For those of you that have not seen Episode 1 of Season 2, spoiler alert, there's a journey that the villains need to take to further their diabolical plot. So that will require some locations. So some of these episodes will not take place in the villain's lair proper, but part of their voyage. So those episodes will obviously be a lot more expensive. So we're just sort of asking for any kind of help. The best way that you can support us is on Patreon, and you get something in return for that. We obviously appreciate the super chats. We love you guys for being here with us. We love you sharing the video and writing comments and tagging us and loving it. We couldn't make series like The Villain's Lair if it weren't for you guys. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts for loving our little creation as much as you do. One of the perks, we've just kind of redone our Patreon. One of the perks that we're doing is we're recreating these trading cards from the 90s with our cast. So this is the original and our remake. So there will be 12 of these that you will get as being for, I don't remember exactly what tier these are.
So this is ours, and this is the original one that they made in the 90s. Oh my gosh, this one is so great. They made this in the 90s, and this was a collectible set, highly collectible. And what we're doing is we're taking our characters and putting
And even
them...
the backs, we made sure were, they're numbered. So you'll get 12 of these. Oh my god, I'm so bad at this.
Yeah, we're going to do 12 of these, so throughout the year you'll receive 12 of them.
So this is another one. I'm not going to show you them all, but I'll show you a couple. So this is Gaston.
Super cool.
Yeah, and another thing, I think we mentioned it at the beginning, but I'll mention it again. For each of the episodes, whether they be Villain's Lair episodes or just standalone videos like we do, we'll be doing signed mini posters that we'll mail to you guys, signed by the cast of that particular episode. Yep.
Other things that you can get are we do monthly Zoom chats where you can kind of hang out with us and we tell you what's going on. Sometimes we play you pieces of songs that we're working on.
You get the instrumentals of the songs.
Yep, karaoke tracks
that are only available to our patrons.
We have a lot of very exclusive stuff on Patreon that you can't get anywhere else.
That's true.
So yeah, consider subscribing. just go to patreon.com/PattyCake Productions.
It's true.
Or you can just get the app. It's very easy to sign
And there's a
up.
brand new video that we're dropping next week, just in time for Halloween. I remember us wanting to mention this. Thank you guys for being patient as we create the rest of the Villains Lair. Part of, like I said, these live chats are to fund the rest of Season 2. So thank you for being patient. It is going to take a little while to make sure that we hit our goal to be able to make the rest of the season, but we're looking forward to it. We have it all written. It's just about securing locations and stuff like that. So thank you for being patient. We know how frustrating it is that you want it as quickly as you do.
Somebody just said, "Where's episode 2?"
Yes,
we have to do that.
we have to get going on it, but we have plenty of other content that we're going to be creating in addition to the Villains Lair too. So there'll be lots of great content coming. Okay. From Mohammed to Maleficent. Are there any other creatures, mystical creatures, you can turn into?
My patience grows thin. This question has been asked and answered. My great powers of transfiguration know no limits.
Apologies, Your Eminence. For those of you that are just joining us, Maleficent had mentioned before that the complexities of turning into other things can't be explained to us mortals. Yeah. So that's what she's talking about. So apologies, Maleficent.
This is from which one are you doing?
From Dr. Facilier. Oh, this is a great question.
Cyber Fogger.
To Dr. Facilier, did you graduate from the same evil medical school that Dr. Evil spent 6 years at? I don't know that he knows Doctor. Doctor, do you have anything to say?
I don't know no Dr. Evil, but he sounds like my kind of guy.
I think the two of you, I think he might be perhaps a little beneath a man of your stature, but I think you have some common ground in world domination at the very least. To the creators, would you consider having Percival McLeach from The Rescuers show up, even if it's only a cameo appearance? The short answer is yes. I love Rescuers Down Under. So, yes, I would say. It's hard to keep adding as many villains as we do because we have to create their looks from zero, even if it's for a cameo. So that can get expensive. So it's not that we don't want to include. I know a lot of people are asking for Scar and
Yzma
again,
yeah.
and those are very, 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 very expensive characters, which is why we're very selective. Just a little backstage info for you. Oh my God, there's so many to get through.
Evil couldn't get sharks with laser beams attached to their heads. Oh, that's such a good movie. You know what's funny about that movie is that I asked my kids if they have watched that, and they're like, "Yeah, it's not very funny."
Really?
And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, the 90s were good, man. They were like, or the 2000s. Well, yeah, that was 90s. Austin Powers was 90s, right?
90s? No, it's 2000s.
Maybe. I don't know.
Does anybody know what year that came out?
Okay, we get another question here from Mother Gothel. Since you were the only one in Tough Love and Bad Never Looks So Good, is it safe to assume you are the one that organizes these get-togethers? I actually don't know the answer to that. Mother Gothel, are you in charge of were you in charge of that particular gathering?
Well, I do like to plan a lot of the little gatherings, especially when it's myself and the ladies. We have so much in common, after all.
Okay, that's great. Let's go to another. Oh my gosh. To Mother Gothel. Lots of questions from Mother Gothel. To Mother Gothel, who has more hair, you or Rapunzel, and how do you maintain it so smooth and not get knotted? Who has more hair, you or Rapunzel?
Why, Rapunzel naturally. But of course, I don't have all of those split ends that she does. Yes, brushing her hair was quite a task, if I remember. She never wanted to sit still long enough for me to brush it for her.
Sure.
Whether she was running around, finger painting the entire place, or baking, yes. You know, her cupcakes were really so dry and overcooked.
Oh my god.
Of course, as the loving mother that I was, I had to encourage it and stomach through batches of them.
Sure. Very, very, as any loving mother would, to encourage creativity, even if they don't necessarily have the gift.
You gotta start somewhere.
Gotta start somewhere, yeah. And I would imagine that would have been hard to stomach through batches of dry cupcakes. That does not sound like fun. To Maleficent. How are you staying so calm being in the same room with two traitors?
Now why would I give a thought to creatures so base, so inconsequential?
So that sort of goes back to what she said before. She doesn't really have an opinion of the others. But Mother Gothel, you and I were speaking earlier, and you had mentioned that during Bad Never Looked So Good, when Dr. Facilier brought, as we know now, Ursula into the room, you weren't aware that she was Ursula. Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
No, of course I didn't know it was her. I mean, she was an absolutely beautiful girl.
Sure.
And if anything, I thought perhaps she was just another sorceress or something. How could I have known?
Sure.
Yes, I mean, the only thing I'm guilty of is being a strong, confident, beautiful young lady.
Guilty as charged in that regard, absolutely. Oh my gosh, we have.
Thank you guys so much for your super chats.
My God, it's like trying to keep up with everything.
And for your subscriptions and for your comments. We appreciate it so much. Every little bit helps. So thank you.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find these. Trying to sift through these. We're just getting. Oh, Maleficent, question for you. I was wondering if you had any suggestions for someone who has insomnia.
Trouble sleeping? How quaint. I have just the solution for such an affliction.
I'm sure you did. Yeah, I would say to I'm not sure who asked that question, but whoever asked that, I would be sure to kind of clear your schedule. I don't know how long that solution. You might be out for a little while.
Pretty quick. One little prick. Somebody asked, who is the youngest villain?
Oh, who's the youngest?
Who is the youngest villain?
I'm not sure. I think probably Mother Gothel, yes.
Oh.
The youngest and I would say most radiant, would you say? Yeah, I think we're boring Maleficent. Okay, there have been a lot of these questions. Sorry. Mother Gothel, why did you betray the villains? Also, I love your personality. Kind of creepy how you kidnapped the child, though. You could have asked. Mother Gothel, any thoughts to people feeling like you betrayed the other villains?
Well, first of all, I was only borrowing her. Yes.
Full intention of returning.
And in fact, one might say I did them all a favor.
Sure.
I kept her safe and sound in that tower for so many years.
Fed her
Imagine what would have happened and befalled the kingdom had everyone heard about a magical girl in healing-powered hair.
Sure.
There
So you
could have
feel
been
like-
wars, pillaging,
Sure.
who knows?
So you feel as though you did the kingdom a service by protecting her.
Yes, where is my thank you?
Thank you.
I'm
Mother
still
Gothel.
waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you from all of our kingdoms. Thank you for doing such a kind-hearted task of keeping Rapunzel safe.
Finally.
Oh, Dr. Facilier, this is a great question for you. Why did you reveal Ursula to Gothel, Cruella, Gaston, and Yzma? That's a great question. Why did you choose them specifically?
Well, in order to get her past the queen's spell of protection, I needed an unbroken circle of betrayers. Now, I didn't tell them that, but that little detail didn't matter none. All I needed was that circle.
Oh, so you needed... That's right, because they were in a circle at the table. That's interesting that you needed a circle of betrayers. It didn't really... So you're saying it didn't really matter who was in the circle, you just needed a circle of betrayers. Is that
Indeed.
true? Indeed. Okay. So they were just pawns, I guess. So for those of you that want to know why...
Right place, right time.
Right place, right time. Absolutely. You're very familiar with that.
So we are, we're running out of time. It's 10:57. We only have a few minutes left. Thank you guys so much for being here. We'll probably do one more question. Thank you for all of the super chats, for signing up on Patreon, for asking your questions, for leaving comments, for watching our videos. We couldn't thank you enough.
It's really, we've been saying it a lot, but it's very genuine. So please hear it. We're so grateful to you guys for subscribing and being here and staying with us and growing with the channel. And it's really what every creator dreams of, is create content that resonates with people. So we're just creators that are really passionate about quality and maintaining, telling good stories and telling it through good music. So that's really what we're about. So thank you for being with us on this journey. Okay, from Liz, Dr. Facilier. Whose side are you actually on?
I'm on the only side that matters.
Which is?
The winning side.
Okay. I see what you did there. Okay. So, for those of you that want to know what side Dr. Facilier is on, he's on the winning side. So there you go. So one more question for Dr. Facilier. Are your friends on the other side friends with Hades?
I got a lot of friends. They know all about the underworld and its secrets.
He is just dropping little breadcrumbs left and right. Okay. So, maybe there's some history there between... Maybe Dr. Facilier knows more than he's willing to share with us.
He always does.
He always does. Well, my nefarious friends, we are just coming to the end of our chat. I thank you, oh, Mother Gothel. Oh, how could I? Thank you.
Villain.
Our youngest villain, our most radiant, beautiful, striking.
Lovely.
Yeah. Thank you all for being here, Maleficent. It's been an unbelievable privilege being in your presence. It's very benevolent of you to grace us. Dr. Facilier, thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedule. I know you have things and people to attend to, so I won't keep you. For those of you that have been here the whole time, thank you so much. We hope you enjoyed this. We're looking forward to creating the rest of Season 2 of The Villain's Lair. Thank you for being patient as we do that. As we continue to raise the funds to create the rest of these episodes. And in the meantime, we have plenty of great content coming for you as well. So,
some coming your way very soon.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys.
Thanks for being here. We love you and thank you. We'll see you soon.